Welcome everyone to another quick after work open source Linux live stream here, building a whole Linux distribution 25 years in for all architectures, 30 plus and counting. The other day we did some Clang enablement because alternatives and latest and greatest and stuff, and LT out Linux kernel is even % or 3 faster for our compile workload. But you fix stuff for Clang, now it breaks for GCC. So much to epic thread ripping, building faster to build errors. I looked briefly into that. So what we also do now, so let's check that in a second. What I also did with Clang, we now strip even more W error away. So basically the topic of this video is that you learn something, and also even for pro users, right? Even for all the Richard Stallmans, for the Eric S. Raymonds, for all the Linus Torvalds and all the everyone in between, Andrew S. Tenbaum and so on. Stop committing and releasing your freaking sources with your preferred random W error and whatnot, like dash W all, pedantic, extra, and W is like the worst W error. Because what is the issue? The issue is that everyone has another compiler. If you run some of the other 1994 Linux distributions, which most of them have an older GCC and Clang than T2, because we are obviously latest and greatest, bleeding edge and the flagship and edge of computing and stuff. But BSDs and all the other distributions, like older compiler, or even like if you build on IRIX or AIX or Folsom Retro and Vintage. But even if you're latest and greatest, right? Even if you are on a relatively new Oracle's Broken Linux or so I heard, and only one compiler generation, it's already one compiler generation. You don't need a GCC 295 from 1997. It's enough last year's compiler, because the issue is it might build for you, but not for everyone else, right? And then not only does it, I mean, every security researcher can of course build with their -x. Like you want to get some overview of some code, like at least some not like finding all static analysis of bugs and features and C and memory and safety and not boring and stuff. Like if you want a baseline, like now amazing pro tips, like if you want to get rich in security and stuff, like if you get sources to analyze, build it with W all extra pedantic and stuff, and you get already like some kind of baseline calibration of how garbage is a source code. I also learned from the greatest and most prominent German security researchers here in Berlin, Felix von Leitner. He once said, when he worked at security review, allegedly maybe even at Microsoft and who knows where, I think he once said in some talk, and like he even like state of the art tip from Fefe, grab for memset, memcopy, and all those kind of totally memory unsafe functions, and your work is already half done. So if you want to get faster, richer than myself, there are those pro tips. But we are not doing that. We build a shabby, unsuccessful tiny Linux distribution and fix others' build errors for free. Case in point, Free Software Foundation, right? Richard Stallman, greetings there. Of course, this stuff doesn't build anymore, and I thought it was building the other way. It is possible that we screwed something up, but hey, if you try to keep some thick 1,000 or so packages for 30 plus architectures building for 2 major compilers, then yeah, that's what it is. Also, like you get it building for Clang. I had 2 other things like no, not PPP, but libusb for of all things, but also other things. You patch it for Clang, like yesterday I patched it for Clang, and it broke for GCC because, like one case, I patched some type correctness stuff for Clang, but I forgot a const. And nitpicking Clang, hey, now I built it. And today, rebuilding with GCC, there's a const missing. It's like do all I wanted is build libusb. But anyway, so that is why T2 is stripping null. So I kind of have done some of the stuff for 15 years, but now we do it even more. Also, I think at least at one point glibc was failing, like you strip W error or other whatever, and then like glibc configure had some checks that then did some random stuff and not what we're supposed to do, because maybe they relied on W extra error, W error equals whatever the case might be. I've not researched it. I also believe GCC Fortran of all things or so, like if you strip some stuff away, like we do automatically, then GCC Fortran doesn't build with, and at least 2 years ago or so, might be fixed. Anyway, so we stripped now, I yesterday, so the last 2 days with Clang, I had enough, like it is just silly that I sit here a day or two and just fix others people broken, like others famous Free Software Foundation stuff, people's code. So yeah, so there's some pro tips for your security research, and please stop doing that, because if it builds for you, it might not build for other people today or tomorrow, and also it just looks bad, right? Like it might build for you, but other people have like next month a new compiler, they build you a libUSB or Rust and Cargo, and they get, like, because you build with Werror and extra and whatnot, not only might it fail, but they also see like gazillions of, even Firefox, right? Each time I build Firefox live on this channel, I see all this bounds checking, like this array bounds off by 5, off by whatever, off, it's like, yeah. Anyway, so enough is enough. I always try to automate stuff, but now we need, like, basically we don't care, right? Like, these are the sources. We are not here to fix everyone's sources except writing a microkernel. Shall I subscribe? But yeah, so what's wrong with glibc, GDB? Yeah, so we need to check where this is coming from. It's like, yeah, 2023, and error, deprecate register, yada, did you mean, it's like, don't even know. I have not yet grabbed, so that's basically the summary. That is what I was supposed to quickly do, just some YouTube chat and stuff. By the way, pro tip, I didn't even check the recurring theme. I quickly do a live stream, didn't even check the audio, but thankfully I see the view meter moving there. Otherwise, people would have probably already been screaming. Also pro tip, if you want to build stuff faster, not that you get all the features, but hey, if you want to build stuff 50% faster, just use GCC 4 from comments here. Just use GCC 4 from 2004 or something. Anyway, so yeah, where is this coming from? Is it coming out of actually maybe so yeah, of course I always grab this, just like Felix from Leitner in his security research. Deprecated register, diagnostics age. It might really be in here, or what? Is that checking compiler? So maybe we strip this now at times away and then at other times not. So it really does check for that somehow. Checking compiler warning flags. Exactly what it's like WL pointer arithmetic, no unused value, yada yada. This is no error deprecated register. So this is so silly. So how did they even do they W error other things? It's like the recurring theme here, right? You had one job, you ship some sources, and like instead of making, the problem with this is such an anti-pattern, right? Instead of making sure it builds for people, they make sure it fails for people, right? You only decrease, and like if these are your favorite options, like in my opinion, developers probably should have more there if they work on their stuff, or like if they jump into some other project, and probably programmers like should set some C flags with their preferred set of what they found useful for their compiler environment. So yeah, I wonder why. So we don't remove error deprecated. So I'm a little bit also, I mean, this pattern matching, right? GCC, hey, I don't know, no option deprecated register. But did you mean deprecated copy detour? It's like due. It's I understand it's like some kind of checksumming, this smallest distance or whatever, checksumming. There are a certain checksum set. Usually checksums are designed so that they have a widest distance with small bit changes, but they also like such comparison stuff of keeping whatever the formal term was for that, for keeping the distance small, or even producing the same or close checksum for minor changes. So yeah, I understand it's the best alphabetical lexical match there, but anyway, funny. So the problem is now we need to get rid. I mean, how does it even freaking get in there? Do they actually? Is it in here? This was no, or this, or even deprecate kits. No. Where freaking does that come from? Or is it just deprecated? It's at least GDB support. Also, at project management, right? Of course, you have different WRO things for unimportant sub-projects. Yeah, these options we'll try to enable. The question is, so do they iterate those? Build, also like build. I mean, people spend extra efforts. Imagine that, right? They spend extra hours of engineering this annoying to work with autoconfig stuff just to make your builds fail. I slightly wonder why this. So what I usually do, another pro tip for those who want to learn from this random live streams, what I often do is try to find out why this happens. I slightly, okay, they check that here, but they're apparently shadow deprecated, but this is a little bit, where is the, this is the first match, isn't it? Why is this not in the log for being checked? Here is one result, register. I'm also in the wrong mode now. Oh no, there it is. Not sure why this. Why does it work? Or is it a C only warning? And but this is also you know what? This is how these build errors occur. They check for deprecated register and then add it with no error. They test. Wow. Now I've also, because I said sometimes, and so this is like a live example, I'm not making this shit up when I say when we globally removed that, it randomly broke like even GCC fortune. So I mean, this is so silly, right? They check for the positive WRO deprecated register. We remove it because YOLO, we don't care about this stuff. And then they add the inverted negative no error for deprecated registers, and then it doesn't freaking work probably. How do we freaking fix this? Except, I mean, we could simply remove W no error as well. But wow, is that... This is so tricky. Another thing what we at times did is conditional like that. So we could remove W error stuff only for conf tests. Often, of course, it doesn't match everything, but usually, because some configure stuff that's not autoconf and other custom YOLO stuff doesn't use the conf test name. So we could wire the removal of W error. I mean, this also has drawbacks, right? I mean, not only it only works 95% of the time, it's still like if there is an issue with something, like some not Werror test, but some actual code test, this still would so yeah, it still would not fix other conf tests where some error actually breaks some stuff from yesteryear. Yeah, tricky design. Sorry, when you build your microkernel, what language will you use? Yeah, that is still an issue. I actually want to JIT most stuff, so I'm actually tempted. I actually want some 10% the size, like basically lower JIT size, code size of JIT, but more maintainable than unreadable Lua JIT code, which otherwise Lua JIT is amazing, just not the most readable and not the most portable. So what I want is some 10% code size of very portable and readable, yet performant. Yes, the eierlegende Wollmilchsau, the catch-all thing of that is, yeah. The Graver, welcome everyone. Is there a new GDB? Is that saying this GDB is outdated? 13.1, yeah, that's so the problem with that is, I mean, we could do that, but the problem is very few packages probably have some disable Werror configure thing, which is why I would normally not bother with that. I mean, as we already remove Werror, we could similarly, like, as this is already generic, this is not yet committed, the star here, I believe we removed Werror, and now, yeah, we basically could remove no error as well. That probably fixes it, because that is more universal and works also with all the other configures that do not have disabled Werror. You can't usually rely on that option being there. So yeah, but these are the things. Sure, other distributions configure each particular project. We generally avoid that and usually cut 90% of the efforts and human efforts and time. And welcome everyone. But yeah, as you see, the Graver, so yeah, that built. So the only problem is, like, how many other things will this break now? That I believe I built everything else. Yeah, I built everything else. So now we could, like, rebuild everything yet again for this. This for sure will break something else that I don't even have. Like, even with my experience, like, whatever it breaks now. Why do we have Clang? Oh, there's some temp thing. Why is there a temp thing? Does that mean... let's quickly, so this is built, let's quickly create an ISO. Because I'm not sure if I broke something else. Oops. Yeah, some keyboard. I had to fix some Mac code today, so my fingers today are used. Every IT and 2030, yes, I could use the same freaking USB code for actually. So some keyboard is relatively more close to some Mac, maybe. Anyway, do I have some QEMU here in my history? KVM, host, no graphics, kernel, yada yada. No, this stuff I need, no graphics. Whatever. Could open C-ROM. What? PUH. So why does it actually? I thought that some LVM. What did we break new? No. Oops. Apparently we broke something now. The question is what? So we broke something, and I rebuilt everything because this didn't happen for a long time. Unknown file system. As it happened yesterday as well with my Cling build, and welcome everyone. And I thought it's a Cling regression, but apparently I mean, it's probably grub. But what did we break now? Oh, not many, so many. Or do we, or are we, maybe we are using KCC? Do we use our kernel? I know what, I didn't set this to. Actually, here is some Werror for Cling. Actually, I wonder then how many custom Werrors we can remove. Okay, there are some Werror. So yeah, apparently and the question is, for what reason did I even add that there, or maybe someone else? Something. Where is even here 50? Okay, and what is fixed building? It's different compilers too. Yeah. Maybe Cling. Must have been Cling. I should have. Yeah, sometimes I rush so fast through stuff that, I mean, I try to have proper useful commit messages, but why does this freaking break now? So grub wasn't recently updated. It was working GCC. Could this be? Did I check an ISO? Is this a GCC update, isn't it? Or how long do we have this GCC? Now this GCC, could it be GCC 13 whatever? But yeah, and that is why we need even more unit testing and even more continuous integration testing, because what broke now? Grub. I thought it was working the other week. Yeah, the ordeals of distribution maintainers. So now we would need to debug that. That is, of course, no. Do I have any other old ISO? We have an X32 ISO. Yeah, sure enough, that works. Out of memory, thank you very much. How many gigs do you want? Shit. No, this is GCC 13, so it must have worked earlier. The question then is, what broke now? Yeah, so then I have some debugging to do. Why that fails now? How this breaks now? Yeah, that is sad. This is not really what I plan to do now. But probably This is so strange. Did I commit any grub clang fixes? Not really, it's very small. That doesn't affect this build. Yeah, then so far, does Werror stuff break some subtle thing in grub? Yeah, I need to debug that. That is everything's broken. Yeah, so that's the thing, right? You 4 days clean up stuff and so on, and then your bootloader is broken. That is reset. I mean, I have a ton of not committed GCC stuff here. And we could check what we run here. So we run with cc equals GNU GCC, and we have here. Oh wait, does insert text protector strong? That might be a thing. Otherwise, it also, what it does, it pick? Ah, it is possible. Actually, wait a second. I touched some. Did I not touch some pick or pie? Maybe we had some custom. I mean, first of all, okay, we have here no SSP, no LTO, and no pi. So we append dash, we remove dash s. Here. I changed this, for example. So I mean, theoretically, Werror, maybe I debugged it. I remember something. It is possible that stripping breaks the grub modules. And I just changed it. I've not committed this yet because this dash s is strip, which I used for decades. But of course, it doesn't work like this with Clang. A recurring theme, why should stuff be 99.99% compatible between compilers? The problem is with Clang, it issues a diagnostic of dash s not used for compilation or stuff, or linker flag dash s or whatever, not used for compilation, something of that sort. And so yeah, that is, maybe I should add, so this doesn't remove, so I have compile or wait, remove. So yeah, compile and nothing otherwise dash. So it might be possible that that fixes already. Now that I think about, oh wait, this was the wrong grub too. So yeah, this could already, but yeah, the better thing, what I usually do then, if that I might have triggered this grub2 module thing the second time, not just like it only wasted 5 minutes instead of maybe the last time. So it is possible the last time I debugged at that for 30 minutes or 60 minutes, something of that sort. If that is the issue, we are probably better off having a new flag of no strip, which theoretically I even have with my 100 to-do entry list. I have even the stripping also breaks some non-x86 kernel, maybe Spark. If you build, so there was some combination where recently I wanted to, like 6 months ago, I wanted to debug something on Spark, and some variant doesn't build. So the Spark Linux kernel, Spark 60 Ultra, Spark 64-bit kernel builds with T2. Of course, we are using that in production, obviously, right? Like professionals do. But I remember if you currently build right, I think, so the issue is probably the details from the top of my head are the Spark kernel runs strip with .comments whatever, maybe within your output file, something of that sort. And when we build for debugging and the T2 environment then strips all invocations of strip to true or something, like it replaces, like with an exit code of 0, this is why I say true, maybe it's implemented sort of like this. And that the issue is then that some Spark file needed, like maybe this piggyback stuff or other Spark early boot, quirkery, compression, whatever stuff, then is an empty file. Instead of like using strip.node, whatever, something of that sort, it's like, yeah, I have this on my to-do, so theoretically, this kind of stuff like that wasted easily 30 minutes. I for sure debugged half an hour around on the Linux kernel makefile stuff until I realized, like, our strip wrapping stuff strips that away. It's like, yeah, it's like, but yeah, that is IT. Somehow, I regularly think stuff should be, with all the make and configure stuff, somehow be written more maintainable, like less fragile. Yeah. So we created an ISO. Let's see what happens now. Is that probably new ISO? Hey! So yeah, live on this channel. Yeah, -s. Yeah. I mean, the problem is we maybe nearly only need that for grub. So is adding a strip wrapper the most clever thing to do? Grab remove -s in all of desk and conf. Somehow also this with clean star operator. So grub, where else? Remove for each in GCL. What the heck? We have Firefox. Okay, it might affect also Firefox. Maybe Firefox is similar, LFAC or whatever, symbolication stuff. So yeah, they are actually only like one bootloader. glibc apparently. Mostly. So yeah, there are. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's not many, but probably because now we need to change. Like if we change -s for cling not to get this annoying warning, then yeah, lesson learned. Then I have another thing to actually try, which is, so we build everything. Let's swap the build. I kept the other build, x86-64. So yeah, one more mystery solved. Let's move that to GCC. Let's move clang to that. Let's change the config back to clang. This was config GCC. Clang. This should do, because then I wonder if, so we need probably one change, because then I wonder if grub to build with clang actually works now, because it built yesterday but didn't boot, but that probably is -s. Yeah, compiler. So this was like yesterday. There we can look into this, but I remember grub2 that was here some dash. So that is some -a unused node no. So then insert, I don't know why did it in that order, but maybe there is some oops, something in it. Oh darn, no, I hate Vim. I hate Vim. Why do I even freaking use Vim? I should boot an operating system editor and not use this improved NVI. Var sd config default cc equals gcc, I guess. Insert set. Oh wait, what did I? Wait, this is not what I just deleted. Why do I have? Where is this? Ah, this was my remote Vim buffer versus local clipboard. Genius. Yeah, it's probably a little bit longish. Insert WA MX use node. I don't know if we still need that. I probably should review if we still need that, but once upon a time we needed that. Thanks, Danny, for your trust in being able to fix all crazy stuff. So yeah, that's basically it. Then we will do one last QEMU boot here, and then in just 40 minutes we actually accomplished quite some stuff as usual. Kinda, sorta, nearly. Yeah, cling is slower. Yeah, that is does it LTO, by the way? I wonder if... Yeah, actually we have LTO on now, that we don't LTO. So yeah, it's LTO and grub. What could possibly go wrong? Except not boot anymore. Why does this fail now? Why is this? Is this in the F list or what? So this might be for performance reasons. I had a slightly older, like one kernel older build for benchmarking reasons. And it's still, are both in here? Oh yeah, both are in here. It's manually. I deleted that already, so that is 631 delete in place, I guess. So our ISO stuff wanted to pack a kernel that. Yeah, that is when you manually, like pro tip, don't manually YOLO around in your Linux distribution like this crazy YouTuber does regularly. What you're saying? Why has what question marks? The -c question mark colon stuff, or if you mean that is from our compiler wrapper conditional arguments, as that is our own stuff. So that is if the command line arguments have ignore VM Linux, as this is a regular wildcard. This is any, because some are compressed and some are not. So most architectures boot regular ELF executable in link format file directly in their firmware bootloader, and some have other, like x86 and some other alpha or whatnot. Some have compressed variants, or like with other custom early boot multiplexing decompression code and stuff. And so yeah, so the regular ELF image ones are usually VM Linux, and the compressed piggybacked and other process crazy variants are set for compressed, if that probably makes some sense. So let's see if LTO clang grub 2 does something more than nothing. QEMU, yada yada, all this good stuff, and alles aus dieser directory. So certainly, hey, LTO grub, what else would you wish for? Probably doesn't have a cling thing here, does it? I wondered if okay, this loads. I was wondering, because I would like to auto-detect that it's a serial terminal. I'm not sure if you can detect this with EFI, except maybe measuring the output timing, how long it takes to output something. But otherwise, maybe we could, for EFI, check if UGA or GOP is use directive. Like basically a graphical terminal or stuff, and otherwise, but it's just some, yeah, I need to check that. So, does it also boot something? TTY is 0. Does something amazing. So this should be a full Clang system, like nearly everything. Yeah, this is an LTO'd Clang LLD. This is LTO'd. Highest performance you could currently get in my testing. Anyway, let's see what freaking classic partitions. It's probably all throwaway stuff that I don't need. That probably looks good. Yeah, one day it's just like one stupid utility is like partitioning and whatnot stuff is resetting some raw console terminal state thing. Oh cool, the FS tab is empty. That's not a good start. But we missed GCC, so somehow we need anyway GCC in here. So okay, most things work. Some does, by the way, KExec. KExec does not. Can we manually KExec? Why does something did not do some? Let's see if KExec works. So yeah, some stuff is broken, which obviously expected from the first time in 2 years in nearly everything Clang system. Danny asks, so it's like shortcuts. These are wildcards. This is just normal. If you still discuss the question marks, these are just the usual shell wildcards, right? It's like foo or like Linux star, right? So a question mark is like a star, right? This is a one character form of star is more like if this is new to you, this is a shell, regular shell thing, which obviously we all are here to perfect our Unix stroke word control W Linux knowledge. Are we still mounted? Are we unmounted? Apparently, mount read-only def VD. What did I boot with? EFI. So this here. MMT probably did too. You're welcome, all subscribers and members and stuff, and super thanks and chats and stuff, welcome. This is how you pass your Linux certification exam in no time. KExec-L, let's try that. Because with GCC LTO, the whatever KExec trampoline stuff, whatever they called that, there's some name, what, pruning? Whatever breaks. Let's see if it breaks with, did I even LTO that? KExec tools. Actually, probably I did, because yeah, it's not generically all no LTO. I had to some IF here, no pick, no LTO. Actually, then we probably don't LTO that part. Does this, by the way, break? Apparently not. No, does Clang grok f null program? I thought Clang didn't have that. Yeah, we built with Clang. Use LD, LLD, yada yada, ignore. LTO. It's not, yeah, okay, it won't. No, will program not supported. Okay, then it probably works. Reuse none append road equals def SDA3. This somehow did not really do what I wanted it to do. Does it sometimes it hangs some seconds, but maybe not this time. Okay, this grub is okay. This grub is probably. No, I rebuilt it. Why is this grub broken? Okay, now it's. HD, GPT. Darn, I hate this. Sorry, console query. I have no idea why this took so long. What? This was not really what I wanted to test. Somehow this... Not sure why this broke like that now. Hello? Why is why is the root empty? Maybe because FS tab was empty. Okay, but it boots. Just not so. Something is with kexec. I mean, we could try. I mean, we can LTO the Linux kernel, but maybe we know LTO clang that. I mean, the best would be to, I mean, there should be no LTO. The question is, was it fully, maybe it breaks with LVMLD and yeah. Anyway, comment there, asterisk, and so this star is a cleanest star operator, but in regular expressions. But these are not regular expressions, these are shelled, are they called wildcards? Regular expressions and wildcards are not really, I mean, regular expressions are, probably you could call wildcards a subset of regular expressions. Regular expressions certainly, yeah, I also totally recommend, right, you see me constantly automate your stuff, even like math edits and math substitutions, like one cryptic line SED and so on. Totally agree, a must for every computer programmer and stuff, and certainly huge time saver once you understood them a little bit. I wish the shell would have more regular expression built in and not only the less powerful shell wildcard stuff. Let's quickly reinstall. So yeah, the other thing, there is at least GCC missing, which is obviously not the most useful without compiler runtime, whatever the name was for GCC. libgcc, of course, libgcc and friends. But I would nonetheless would like to know what is up here with. Did I rebuild this right? I built this. So yeah. Let's try 2kxxz again. kxx manually, just because the boot. Yeah. It's getting late. I start to make mistakes. Enet rg reuse command line. Was it append root def da3? Should that have a typo? Here's a line break. Is a little bit annoying. What does it? No, not reuse command line. Here maybe. This was. Yeah, this editing is not for. Enet rd. Append also typo. Can't read what was written there. That is a little bit. So we could probably let's can we tee that to a log file? Do we have a log file? Hey, we have a log file. Amazing. Trick 17 of all microkernel engineers. Of course, we could also do QEMU. What probably could also work is QEMU, whatever, disable, stop. There is some or disable reboot or stuff. Oh no, this is not reboot. Oh no, it resets after that. So yeah, disable reboot might help, or similar such stuff. Or obviously attaching a debugger and breakpoint and stuff. Yeah, this typing is already, the ship has said we are probably some minutes further already. But thanks for the comment. Def, so read only def SDA 3. When I mistyped this, there was an error, so it wouldn't kxx without error. kexec okay, cool. I append some. What is this? Is my keyboard defect or is my finger defect or my brain? That probably could be all. Let's see what happens in the log file. Yes, I want to see it anyway. QEMU terminal. Incorrect command syntax error found. Okay, so there's also some, this is also good to see, seldom you see this. Okay, this kexec really doesn't output anything, or what? So this kexec really just... So somehow just resets, so that will be fun to debug. Would have been really helpful if there would have been any kind of diagnostic. Okay, that's for that for this video. Or maybe we could also, like, yeah, either you debug this now with kexec that is complex. Obviously, pro tip, like if you wanted to debug this now, you first need to create yourself the perfect environment to really breakpoint in there and analyze, because, like, yeah, it's kexec tools clang probably. Why is this music? Checking the clang options. Generate PLT iterative functions. Furthermore, clang has always behaved like described above. Conscious fix the perjury code with the letter, but okay, so yeah, could be something like that. This is why I said you need to have your debugger in here. Actually, kexec tool. So that probably is fixed, because that is not what we got there. Actually, wait, is S390? Are you kidding me? Yeah, whatever. Make A the default? What the heck? There's no downside in this, and Rust running each time. Presumed chunk of populations. Some machines going manual funding. Is autoflag? What? Okay, click on yada yada, init RD. Reuse command line? Operational permitted? What the heck? Closes what? Bugs Debian. Yeah, so whatever. Please make kexec A the default. Okay, A is not append. Use the base syscall. Use file-based syscall for exec and fallback to compatibility syscall when it's not supported. Did not understand the image. Okay, whatever. Yeah, it's not the end of the world. It's of course not super nice. It's the best feature since sliced bread does not just work with Clang right now. As true professionals, we probably want to add Clang build kexec tools. Might also be the Linux kernel that, like, I mean, we could cross check. Should we? Okay, one more try, and then we call it a, what did we even? Okay, that didn't, we rebuilt this with no LTO Clang, right? Maybe we should double check that. Yeah, link time optimization disabled for this package. Let's rebuild this with GCC. That should rule out whether it is kexec tools or Linux kernel. So default CC GCC and go, and then we call it a day. That built fastish in 2 seconds. Are you serious? Okay, is that epic thread ripped, I guess? Wait, which what have oh wait, did we this is, did I touch that now? Good that we double check that. Yeah, as usual, I hope we're coming to an end. I hope you enjoyed this and learned something. As always, leave me in the comments below what you liked, disliked, learned the most, want to see more. ISO build, let's boot that again. I don't know what Kexic kinda should. Yeah. You know what would be cool? If we populate the bash history. I have already like 3 or so entries in the bash history or shell history. You know what? Let's put that in the VM Linux into the history. For good measure. SDA3, some append, some more, probably it's not my keyword, probably I just, yeah. That could work, couldn't it? So yeah, that works. So it's not the kernel, so apparently something. So yeah, I mean, it came up there. Yeah, it has no etcfs tab, I guess. So there is some. Something not mounted and now not booting, but at least it otherwise works. So yeah. It's a nice T-log trick though, I have to say. I'm surprised it works that well with the interactive show. I've never done that before. KXHack, yada yada, all this good stuff. Reuse command line. So target, generic, no, share, install, rootfs, bash history, and let's add that here because why not? But of course with a star, there should only usually be one, if not then edit it as needed. Reuse command line and append some root equals def. I guess what should we just maybe nothing, and then you get an error that might. Does it work? Does this error? And details like that are, of course, what makes T2 one of the most outstanding distributions, probably already overtaking Oracle's broken Linux. Let's do that because I don't want to do it in my running system. So, shit. What? Ah. MNT boot. So I didn't rebuild the ISO, that's why it's not yet in there. I only want to test. We don't need everything, just does that error? Yeah, so that errors. So it's probably better that if we would pre-fill that, it wouldn't error. So that's probably like, you know that you still need to error, that you still need to add there something. Do we have VI? Probably not. Yeah, this is completely empty. Does it boot with that? Okay, we can also edit this SDA3. This must be some, yeah, this, yeah, I should debug that. Yes, there's always something for whatever happens. There was some tool with clearing stuff. Yeah, I mistyped this. Oh, I've seen it. No, there's something not happy. Yeah, I would need to debug this. It's right now not the very highest priority. What have we? Yeah, whatever. It's not important for today. So this was video as usually after a short 40-minute sprint. It became 1 hour with some testing and exact fiddling. I hope you enjoyed this and learned something. Don't forget to share, like, subscribe, and I hope to see you soon for our next fun tinkering videos and alternative kernels to come. Oh, and Digit compiler for reasons.